Hi guys, welcome to another chess opening video where you will learn a certain variation connected to an opening. In this video, we will take a look at the Schliemann variation. It's called the Schliemann Defence actually because it's played by black against bishop to b5 in the Ruy Lopez. So let's dive right into it. The Ruy Lopez is characterized by the move e4, e5 by black, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to b5. This is the Ruy Lopez opening from this position. Black has a lot of replies. On this channel, we have looked at the pawn to a6 approach, the Murphy's defense. We have actually looked at the knight to f6 approach, which is the Berlin defense. In this video, I'll be looking at another surprising move, or let's say a weapon black can use against white, and that is f5. This gives rise to the Schliemann defense. The first thing to note about the Schliemann defense is that it is not a gambit. It is not, because black can easily recover his pawn. This position resembles the Latvian and elephant gambit. However, the difference between the Latvian and the Schliemann defense is the presence of the knight on c6. So in the Latvian gambit, it's just this setup straight without the knight. So that's how you just identify what you are playing or the position you are playing in the future or in any tournament or game between friends or in any tournament or in any game you are watching once you see the position. So for the Schliemann defense, there's a knight on c6. For the Latvian gambit, there is no knight, just empty squares, then this setup alone. The question is, why did black choose to play f5? Why not go for other choices? I'm going to look at some reasons from my perspective. Then you can also try to look for reasons too from your own perspective. In this position, the advantage for playing f5 can be seen if white respond with the first idea that comes to the mind, because most of the times after pawn push, offering this kind of position, the first thing that comes to a mind of a chess player who is just trying to get their feet into chess is to capture. So the reason for pawn to f5 can be easily seen when pawn captures pawn instantly. Black will throw in this attacking move, very aggressive, pawn to e4, attacking the knight. The knight has no squares to go but to go back home to g1. Now you can see black has more active pieces than white. We cannot say a lot of pieces, but if you check the position, it's only the queen that has squares covered in this particular position. But for black, the bishop is very strong. This dark square bishop is active. The queen also is active. In this position also, you will notice that the pieces of white player at the back rank are not doing anything. They're not really doing much. And it takes them longer moves to be developed, except for this knight on b1 here, popping over to c3. Then maybe the queen. But if you compare activities for the black pieces, the knight can easily come outside, the bishop can come outside, the queen is coming out, so there are more active fighting forces. If we now reflect back to the beginning why black played f5, you can see it yourself. Let's dive into some move with this variation. Let's say, for example, after knight to g1, black prepares an attack. The attack can only come with just one move because There's a second move in this position that black can play, but not an attacking move. There is knight to f6. It's not an attacking move. This move gives black the chance to castle faster. After knight comes out, bishop follows, he castled and ready to strike. That's a strategic understanding for that variation. In the sense of deploying the queen early, queen to g5 is a strong way and aggressive way to start. So someone who plays f5 and you see f5, then you grab f5 in a hurry, has this kind of idea in mind to throw at you. If white cannot defend correctly, he will fall into trouble. Let's say, for example, maybe white wants to throw a sneaky move like pawn to d3 or pawn to d4. He's going to lose this pawn, and also the rook is under attack. If the rook is captured, white can still lose the chance to castle. The correct way to continue as white is to defend the pawn with g4. After g4, black may try to still increase tension on attacking this pawn on g4 with knight to f6, which will provoke white to play h3. Basically, the moves I've shown are connected to when white captured that pawn on f5. And these are active reactions to black threat to gain materials. So if you observe in this position, white's pawn structure is not looking too good in the king side. Black is maintaining a lot of balance in his side. The bishop soon will be developed. Then king can be castled to the short side, or rather still, after pawn to d5, bishop can come outside, then king can be castled to the long side. This strategic understanding enables you to play this kind of position as black. However, in favorable sides, we can say black is doing better here because of the structure of his pawns, the preparation of his pieces to enter into action. We cannot say the queen is almost trapped because there are escape squares like this. Then we can join forces with the bishop to put pressure on f2. Coming back to this position, there are other moves like pawn to d3, knight to c3, and even castling. However, to play safely, you must find that move that eventually gives you balance and equal fighting chance. The video is not to favor a particular side of play or a particular color. It's just to give you some basic understanding in each position, which can end up preparing you for equality and playing the main line in some variations. We've just looked at pawn takes pawn, which instantly gives the reason why black played pawn to f5. If you don't want the idea of your opponent to come to life, you have to think over a particular move very well before making your own move and taking action. So in this position, let's talk about another move, which is pawn to d3. With pawn to d3, we are already prepared to take control of this game as white. In this position, we can simply see the weakness in black's camp. When black played pawn to f5, clearly this diagonal is now weak towards the king. So d3 defends e4 and also threatened to snaffle the pawn here on f5 because black won't have the instant move pawn to e4 to attack the knight and cause chaos. Between pawn to d3 and pawn takes pawn earlier, which is more calm and safer to play? If you ask yourself that question, you'll be able to make decision on a particular position when it comes to the Schliemann defense. Let's talk about knight to c3. If knight to c3, there is an idea I can share with you with this particular continuation. If you play knight to c3, black can instantly capture this pawn with the intention of pushing pawn to d5, because black is aware that you're going to capture with the knight. So with tempo, he's going to push pawn to d5, attacking the knight. Where will your knight go to? Of course, the knights have retreating squares like this square, g3, or coming back to where it came from, knight back to c3. Even coming to this square is also an idea. So let's take one and say it comes back here. In this position, black has the massive center. The advantage of f5 with this particular continuations, these moves, has given black this strong center. So I believe I've communicated some ideas to you in the Schliemann variation. We could not go deep because this particular play looks like a gambit. However, it is not. It's just for black to gain some sort of advantage early in the opening. And you have seen some ideas in this video. I would advise you to take this video seriously, study on your own, and look for more reasons to play the Schliemann defense as black and a way to defend it or fight against it as white. Thank you for watching this video. See you in more videos on this channel.